rivers, then into seas. Is why I'm singing. Now this is my humble petition. Announce it in for election. Go now, please. Accidental, detrimental, could be lethal. Are you willing to take that chance? Much too seedy, they too greedy, eyes too beady. Honeymoon end before the romance. We expect corruption, but now without check or interruption. That a few might stuff the pocket, but not racket by the pocket. From the constant comments, we get no recess. Before things fall apart and the riot starts. Even in chutney, I'll tell them go. Make it sooner than later. To protect the future, please. For the sake of we children and the next generation. Go. To safeguard our image. Before Griffith cause more damage. Like a dog with fleas, a dog on the knees. And I'm begging, go now. They try to stick me with Rashmi. They are more trick than Houdini. Streams turn into rivers, then into seas. Is why I'm singing. Oh, now. Please, Mrs. Kamla. Oh, now. Take Munila and Sharma. Go now, please. Them and them minions, total villains, raking millions. Their slogan, we shall rise, it was so true. Tell John Public not to panic while them and they sidekick. Swimming in a pool of dollars so blue. Like meat-eating vulture, they neglect agriculture. Mega fans of phony, Mama Guy Caroni. Sweet man Glenn and Sharma came face to face with the karma. And it was awful, gone through it too far. Don't need a big mouth to tell them go. Watch her and see they just follow now. Before we regret tomorrow, please. You're setting a bad example. Family values they trample. Go. It's only vice they desire now. Before the 5 years expire. Like a dog with fleas, a dog on the knees. And I'm bleeding go now. Before we end in bankruptcy. Before they empty the treasury. Streams turn into rivers, then into seas. Is why I'm bleeding go now. Immediately. And don't forget your AG. Go now, please.
Good afternoon, folks. Igwe.
Good afternoon, Mimi. Igwe, Devon, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Igwe. Good afternoon, Master Carl. Good afternoon, Grenada.
Independent Talk for today, Sunday, the 26th November, Devon, 2023.
2020.
As I always say, Grenada is my constituency, Real FM is my parliament, and I'm the people's spokesman along with Devon. Today, we are blessed and protected by the Ancient of Days. As I always say, our purpose is to give you the information and facts. We say what you do with the information and facts is a matter entirely for you. We always advise where shame is absent. Anything could happen. Like the Prime Minister and the Minister of Foreign Affairs just shamelessly and brazen telling lies to the Grenadian public. So we are here to make those who are comfortable with those lies by the Prime Minister and the Minister of Foreign Affairs to be very uncomfortable. And to those who are uncomfortable by the action of this NDC government, at the end of the program, the information we'll give out, they should be very comfortable. So today, as usual, we have our opening piece. We have clips. And one of the things we go take a deep dive in today is the Samoa agreement in terms of its implication and action, and to confirm and to confer what we've been saying about this present administration. The Sunday piece is entitled Black, White, and Shades of Grey, because grey is in between black and white.
Yes.
The Ministry of Implementation was set up not to implement any meaningful or sustainable project, but to execute superficial and worthless smokescreens to give false hope and make things look like it's happening, like painting all about in black and white. That's why we use black, white, and shades of grey. Like painting wall bridges, drain stones, and granite poles in granite and black and white with the finished shades of grey. What is the skills set of the officials in the ministry, and why aren't they involved in the implementation of projects in other ministries? But then again, there are serious projects. Maybe the Honorable Andy Williams should work on the Grand Lake Bucket trucks to start picking fruits in Mount St. Catherine. We, the good people, see right through this, as we have become accustomed to the new normal of lies and deceits. The new government approach of keeping information from the people and sharing what they wish or need to know basically serve them well, because every time the groups screw up, led by Honorable Deacon Mitchell, open mouth, words crumble. After 1,000 trips, fetes, and much gallivanting, gallery, and frolics, and calls from we the people to explain why he traveled so excessively, the Prime Minister made a miserable attempt last week in a press conference, a real pressure conference. He and his foreign minister, who, by the way, is doing quite a bit of flying himself. I don't know if it is designed by the Prime Minister to ensure that he doesn't get a shot of acting Prime Minister. Essentially, the show was a nothing burger, saying who he met and what discussions they held, even suggesting that Grenada and Saudi Arabia will have an exchange of technology. What technology can Grenada share with the Saudis? A territory with a petroleum-dominated economy and a GDP in excess of $1 billion. If the PM was serious, maybe he might have initiated a conversation on the exploration of oil and gas, since the Saudis are masters of the art of seriously engaging the Canadians or the removal of visas restriction to Grenada. I guess Uncle Deacon was too busy drinking expensive liquor and eating caviar and steak to think on the behalf of the Grenadian people. I guess we too damn poor. The press conference ended like a freak funeral show when the great talker, Honorable Deacon Mitchell, deferred a question on the Samoa agreement, which was quite unusual for a man who sheltered his ministers from facing the public as much as possible, as he obviously lacks confidence in them or afraid their mouth might slip and say the truth. To make a long story short, both honorable men lied and laughed in the face of Grenadians, telling us they do not study the agreement even to consider signing it when they knew it was already signed 6 hours before. Some of us who already knew as well had a good laugh, but this is no laughing matter. When the highest officials and the head of cabinet go to great length to mislead the Grenadian citizen, the representative who is afraid to pass through Shantimel and Ministry of Foreign Affairs official Joseph Andal giving some vomit about morality, when both he and Deacon would make morality even if it bold letters. I honestly prefer to settle for the Prime Minister continue the level to listen him, saying, babbling and confirming his position as a global liar. Listen to his explanation on the meaning of what he said in St. Lucia on the ruling party's platform. The St. Lucians must vote for persons living in St. Lucia. Everybody understood him to be talking about the leader of the opposition, Mr. Chessinet, who was born in Martinique. But Honorable Deacon Mitchell went through great lengths to twist some foolish philosophical response, according to Dr. Slinger Francisco, in one of his renditions. 60 million French men could not be wrong. It's times like these I will see better will he have the old driver. Dr. Keith Mitchell, where you dey? So that piece I try to encapsulate the happenings, Devon, of what going on in this country presently. But we have to unpack the whole agreement of the Samoa's agreement, and we will get into this agreement and unpack, because I know you have some information, Devon, but I just want to lay the platform.
No, you go right ahead, lay the platform and we just
As to this agreement. Now, I'm going to read what we got from the official Office of the Prime Minister's website in Grenada, because in all our commentary, we stand for truth.
Yes.
Like youth Gates. So, the resident ambassador in the Kingdom of Belgium, His Excellency Raphael Joseph, on Wednesday 22nd November 2023, signed the Samoa Agreement on behalf of the state of Grenada. Wednesday, the same day, was the press conference.
Yes, it was.
Head of mission of 4 other member states, Burundi, Central African Republic, Niger, and you like that place, Niger, and St. Kitts and Nevis also signed, St. Kitts and Nevis, let me stick up in there, also signed the headquarters of the Organization of African, Caribbean, and Pacific States. Now, let me explain that. The Organization of African, Caribbean, and Pacific States are states which was colonized by Europe, be it Portugal, be it Spain, be it Italy, be it Britain. They colonized these places, so that is why we have the Organization of African, Caribbean, and Pacific States. So that was all the place what was colonized by Europe. The agreement represents the newest and most comprehensive partnership arrangement between the European Union and the EU member states and 79 countries comprising of the African and Caribbean and Pacific states. Now, one must not forget Brexit, and Britain took themselves out of the EU, and that has implications. So we are trying to go through it so people could understand how we're talking about and not just in. The Samoa Agreement Cup, and here where it becomes interesting, I want people to listen this part, because that is what's written by this government. The Samoa Agreement covers cooperation over the next 2 decades,
20 years,
including the promotion of social, economic, and cultural development of African, Caribbean, and Pacific states, with a view to contribute to peace and security and promoting a stable and democratic political environment in those countries. So it is not a thing what happened yesterday for the Prime Minister to say you don't know. I'm going through that for people to understand. The EU would provide the funding in the tune of billions of euros for all the projects relative to this agreement. But what is interesting to note in all of this thing, none of the agreement in the Samoa, writings in the Samoa agreement speaks about infrastructure development. None. So all that billions of euro dollars. There's nothing say for infrastructure project like bridge and road and school and things. So we can expect that from that project. However, prior to this, there was the Lome Convention in 4 editions from 1975 to 1999, followed by the Cotonou Agreement from 2000 to 2021. Indeed, over the last 50 years, Europe, and in particular the European Union, has been the most consistent and productive development partner of the African, Caribbean, and Pacific states grouping. So that is a backdrop to the thing. The intention is to assist. But remember, in that thing, a point must be noted, and I want somebody wanting to call here and say that's not true. There's no way it mentioned anything to do with infrastructure development. And that is something we always want Devon. So stick up in there. So let's go. Those agreements, Devon, is something that is negotiated, and in this case renegotiated, because we had the Lome and the Cotonou agreements. So it's an ongoing something. And as I mentioned, Brexit, the leaving of Britain in that whole thing has implication because we closer to Britain because we are a British colony. The Queen is still, the King is still head of state here. Grenada is part of this grouping and must be briefed as to the agreements which and negotiation which take place. And with these arguments, the same technocrats and bureaucrats, the Prime Minister talk about, it is usual that they come to cabinet and explain those issues to cabinet.
Exactly.
And it was an ongoing something, so they should have. You go see where I'm going with it. So at this juncture, I go invoke 3 things: lack of institutional knowledge, youthful arrogance, and youthful inexperience mash up the revolution, and we see that right here at play with this agreement. So it's not my making up of that. So cabinet must be apprised of the development, or the Prime Minister must know of the development. So to say to the Grenadian people they didn't have a chance to read or whatsoever, pure baloney, or that means he flying too much, or that means leadership avoidance, so he don't know. Because already, at time when he come in a news conference and they ask him how the crime thing and a situation in Goa, he say he don't know already. And then, the person he leaving in charge when he go in is a man what say he have no original idea. So you see what going on? Alright, so let's go. So cabinet must know. They must know the development because he must have people in Grenada that is following up on that. So for the Prime Minister to say they don't know, a bunch of lie. So the technocrats and the bureaucrats should be calling to explain and say, well, this thing going on up there. And look at how you have far-reaching implication because it come from the Lome since 1975.
Yeah.
And 74 was independent. Same big thing they jumping up about 50 years. So since then, so the bright Prime Minister, what they give a divine name, telling the people he don't know. Well, there we go. So the Prime Minister to say he don't know, he have to be lies blatantly, or if it's not like incompetence to the highest level. Leadership by avoidance because he's staying out of the country too much. So in the case, but what is amazing was that Deacon Mitchell was briefing the nation and saying he don't know of a particular argument, which is the Samoa agreement, which was signed 6 hours before they come in the press conference. Belgium is 6 hours in front. So when he telling the Grenadian public and Andal who raised the morality clause and sovereignty, Ralph don't say the European Union have their own agenda. So whilst Prime Minister Deacon and Joseph Andal was in the press conference, the agreement was signed already by the Ambassador Raphael Joseph in Brussels. I want to see how they go wiggle their way out of this one. So they just come and lie to the Grenadian public. And to some who say he don't lie, he didn't know. If he didn't know, that incompetence. Anyhow you cut it, it's bad for him. So if the PM does not know what going on, it conforms and gets line it up from a kakistocracy. It conforms kakistocracy. Because see, we just come here and say things and they just believe we don't know what we're saying. But we are here at the game.
Always.
We are here at the game and the information we giving. I want any one of them to call here and provide facts to what we're saying and tell us it's not true.
Tell us we lying.
I challenge them. I challenge them on that.
Anybody.
So we experiencing a kakistocracy. But what that tells us, Igwe, is that the Prime Minister travels so much and he leave an incompetent man in charge who says he have no original ideas. So I believe they don't brief in him when he come back, so a lot of things he don't know. But the question is, if you didn't know about the Samoa agreement, what else you don't know about? What else you don't know about, Mr. Prime Minister?
A lot.
Because if you don't know about something big that could affect, and the only how we could, as we sign in, or the only how we could try anything is 5 years down the road. We can't go tomorrow and say we unsigned. And you say you didn't know. With something you should know and something cabinet should know about. Because of ongoing negotiation. But they go blame the ambassador, they go here. So, if Joseph Andal, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, does not know what Raphael Joseph doing, Raphael had to go if he do it on his own. And we're dealing with the English system here of policing. His immediate boss, Joseph Andal, has to go. And Joseph Andal, immediate boss, Deacon Mitchell, also have to go. Because all of them is guilty. They are accountable to this debacle. All you did down here, he traveling so much, I am changing all kind of date on people for finance committee meeting, and I am making a set of jackassness all about. I am jackass this one. So, this thing is not out wrong or right, you know. Devon, this thing is about principle, and this thing is about showing that the Prime Minister of Grenada is not aware of what's going on. This thing is not the man signing that on his behalf, you know. And one of the chatter on the street says to me, Devon, that in agreements like that some money does pass. So the chatter on the street tell me to ask
how much?
If money was passed, and if yes, how much? Devon. So we go now. So here it is. So PM, take a break on the traveling.
Yeah,
because you realize things going on and what you should know and you don't know. And that is good advice to you. That is not no vex advice.
Catching jet lag.
Because when you go, the guy you live in is an incompetent guy. Because the guy tell the nation what I don't have no original idea. Everything I know is what people tell. He admit to that. Some people say he hand longer than his foot or so. I don't know. Some people say if you lick cat to watch cheese trooping, this could happen. That's what chatters on the street say.
But you know, it's like ironic. Eh? Look at the three persons that usually be acting prime minister when the prime minister is out. Right? You have your parliamentary representative, right, who is a whole case for himself, drinks a lot, So I don't know how the nation business could be stabilized. You have Andy Williams, who is a outright liar, you know, and so. And then you have Mr. Telesford, who is another deceitful guy. So we in trouble. The four persons that leads this government all the time, they continue to be deceitful to their own people. You know, so we don't expect.
So the argument is already signed and you say you do know. So when you go get to know, and when you go come back to the Grenadian public, because we're waiting, you have to have another press conference, Mr. Prime Minister.
Yeah, you have to.
And in that press conference, you have to come back with some action out who are accountable. So if Joseph Andal accountable, you have to go. If Raphael Joseph accountable, you have to go. And you have to strip yourself too. Just like you're doing remove finance for yourself, you have to do. Because you're proving one, Devon, leadership by avoidance. Yeah. You prove that in that scenario. Because you don't know, you're playing dummy, don't know. Secondly, lack of institutional knowledge. Because arguments like that, the technocrats and the bureaucrats must explain it to members of parliament so they have to know. Thirdly, youthful inexperience.
Well, I would take the last one more seriously than the other.
I'll come to play here.
No, why I say that? The youthfulness can account for a lot of things. However, those first two things about not knowing, they know. Blatantly lying to the Grenadian people, that is what was going on. Right? No excuse for a prime minister, the leader of our country, to sit in a press conference and tell us that he has not read the agreement, right, that our country is about to sign, implicating us to a number of cultural norms that we're not accustomed to, a number of things that we don't know about, was not explained to the people, right? And we say we have the brightest prime minister. And I make no excuse for him because he's a lawyer. He is a lawyer, and then he has the attorney. By the way, what is the situation with the attorney general?
I don't know, but before we reach the Devon, there are some people I want to call on. I want to call on Philip Telesford, because he's a man of God. And you sit down there and let in all this thing and them happen, and you don't say nothing. And you talk to Jonathan Nakret. He's a man of God. You know about the story with Eli. I need to speak to people like Stanford Simon. I need to speak to people like Dave King. The powers that be. You like to use that word, the powers that be. Dave, the powers that be messing up. Talk to them. Talk to them. Because you see what's happening now. What them I get with the pants so low down, eh? The journalists put them under pressure when they fully well know 6 hours ago the argument signed. They must know.
But why would our leaders want to do that to our people? I mean, they take us, they think they're taking us for a ride. We don't understand. I mean, certain things. First, I mean, I mean, this is a serious situation that the Prime Minister of our country has put us in, right? He has stood in a press conference and lied for us. Lied to the Grenadian people. Because while, as Master Kaladi rightly said, while he was sitting there thinking of the lies to tell to the Grenadian people, Mr. Raphael Joseph in Brussels was signing the agreement.
Signed already, ink drying already.
Right? So that means the Prime Minister had already known that the agreement was signed, he and the Foreign Minister, but yet for all, you know, this is a disgusting part, you know. Yet for all, you come in a press conference and lie for the people. Deliberately. Let's take them fools for a walk. Let's lie for them again. You know? It's a continuous streak by this Prime Minister and his ministers. Continue to lie, and as Andy Williams rightly say, let us give them the lies in the beginning. They will get used to it. What's that effect? They will get used to it and accustomed to it and run along. But I think you guys have a rude awakening, because to tie a people to certain agreements that was not discussed with them, for them not to understand what is going on, and you as our leaders, representative, go and sign an agreement that you know discussions was already being carried out about some of the contents in that, and for you to go and sign that without no consultation, you guys, I don't know. Perhaps later I will describe the word. That I would want. Yeah.
Kakistocracy.
Yes. It is so disgracing.
But Devon, even if, well, you play devil's advocate here, and for discussion's sake, let's say the Prime Minister didn't know.
Yes, we give him the benefit.
But Joseph Anda should know.
Of course. Because Raphael Joseph is working directly under
Joseph Anda is the boss of Raphael Joseph.
Understand? Also, who would be privy to a lot of these things when it comes to the foreign thing would be the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. But she's a public servant, so that's, that's thing. But the foreign minister, who is a line minister, has all the information. And you made a point earlier on where the Prime Minister deferred to the foreign minister to explain, to take the lead on that. So that's where the lie started. He wanted to make sure that the foreign minister was in line, based or towing the line that they all agreed upon.
You see, any excuse the Prime Minister use puts him in a bad light.
Anyone.
So, devil's advocate, let's say he didn't know. That things he ought to know.
Exactly.
Because it's an ongoing negotiation which has implication
for the nation.
20 years implication for Grenada. So a negotiation of that magnitude, and Joseph Anda said there was a window to sign.
Yes.
That means there was a timeline to sign.
No one wonders.
So the Prime Minister must know of. But listen, you don't know about it, but you're bringing up the morality clause. You hear both times talk about morality and sovereignty.
Private morality.
How you could don't know, but you know to say about morality. Anyhow you cut it, because that's something the Prime Minister ought to know as the chairman of cabinet, because that agreement or the negotiation going forward should have been discussed at cabinet, but then again he doesn't be here.
Yeah.
And then the man he does live in charge told the nation, watch, I don't have no original idea. I want him to say that not true. You say that? So when we say it's a kakistocracy, government by the least suitable people, they just confirm the whole discussion. But somebody has to be held accountable, because we're starting from the point that the Prime Minister say he don't know. Let me give him that. Well, if you don't know, how come the ambassador signed on behalf of Grenada? How the ambassador could be signing something on behalf of Grenada when at the time you telling us you didn't know it was already signed? You try to pull a fast on us, you thought people would not know?
And the foreign minister had the audacity, right, to go ahead and quote in all sorts of big words about Grenada would not give up their sovereignty, and we will not let other countries to really, all sorts of fancy and nice words. And so when you sit there and you keep on lying to the Grenadian people, you say all of that in a press conference, that Grenada would not do this, Grenada will not do that. But you already knew that the agreement was signed by Grenada. Mm-hmm. I mean,
but even if you don't know that serious, even if you don't know Devon, there's serious indictment on him. How could be Prime Minister and
the foreign minister I was talking about, not the Prime Minister.
How you could be foreign minister and an argument of that magnitude was signed and you don't know?
And you come in a press conference and is able to explain all sorts of things, say all sorts of things that purportedly is in the agreement, right? And then you have the Prime Minister on the side is saying that he has not read it, so he knows nothing. Kakistocracy. That is what you call persons who have no idea what is going on, even around them. I mean, how can sensible lawyers and quote-unquote politicians, bright people, could think that they can take the Grenadian people for a ride? I mean, you guys
Well,
are
listen
so
this.
foolish.
Mr. Andal, Grenada for sure, we are not willing to surrender our sovereignty to any international organization. And if there is any part and proposed agreement inconsistent with our constitution and with our values, we will think long and hard about entering into such agreement. Mr. Andal, the agreement was signed already when you're saying that.
That's my point.
So that tomfoolery.
Yes.
Prime Minister Mitchell said international agreements are not morality and values, are to a large extent designed by culture of any particular country. So why they keep saying they don't know, but they keep speaking off
the agreement?
So question raised by the Archbishop, he say he think as always up for debate. So the question is, why was not some town hall meetings held? You like town hall on Wednesdays?
Yeah, they love town hall.
So why they didn't go in town hall? Yeah, let's take it. What do you call her?
Hello, good evening, gentlemen.
Hey.
I've been waiting a long time.
Yeah, but we have to give information, eh?
Yes, I know.
All right.
But I am here to give information too.
Now we have in our program and we're hosting a program to give information to the people. So there comes a time when we will take call, so you have to be patient.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, before I give information, Master Carl, Devon.
Yes.
The time has come that Grenadian is no uneducated people anymore. We are intelligent, and we know system, and we know protocol. So I am saying that to start my discussion online, on air, that EU agreement is not an agreement that just fly by night. We know that. Also, for a ambassador to sign any agreement on behalf of Grenada, the most important thing is that it must be discussed with the Prime Minister and the Foreign Affairs Minister. And that has to have a discussion. Are we going to do that? Are we going to do that, yes or no? So the signing of the agreement, the cabinet is already know. That is the protocol. And it must be discussed even before it was signed. So that is one no-no. That is one blatant lie already. And the second thing is, as they talk about lowering the values and morals of our country, as spoken by both Prime Minister and Foreign Affairs Minister, we are not prepared to rush into signing an agreement when we don't have all the details and quotes, all the facts, and the Prime Minister would say he has not gone through it to see the detail or the reason for signing yet. And we are not going to be pressured to sign any agreement that we have not looked into properly. That is another blatant lie. Now, Grenada, Carriacou and Pitimatic, it's time to come out and stand up and face the heat. Face it with like man and woman. It's time for these lies from high places in our country to stop. It's time for people to give room to transparency and accountability, as Tillman Thomas would have alluded to in his tenure as Prime Minister. I am saying that, gentlemen, there is too much of light and too much I don't know. I have not read. I have not seen it. I don't know what happened there. And yet for all, some Grenadians are still saying they are doing well. Where is the World Conference of Churches on this issue? Where is the Grenada Conference of Churches on this issue? You're talking about abortion? Abortion, that used to be a secret. Now, according to the EU agreement, is no longer a secret.
Which agreement?
The EU, the same one that they're talking about.
Is that written in the agreement?
Well, that the Archbishop spoke about it, and that is why we know all about it.
Yeah, but is that written or that is inferred?
Yes, inferred about yes,
right.
Yes, yes, and the morals. A lot of Grenadians know about same sex, both male and female. We know all about it, but these men was hiding to involve in this kind of same sex thing. Women was hiding. Now all these things would be things of the past, hiding. So we talk about mutual understanding, respect for these ones. People can come and call them ill names now. All that is referred to part of the agreement that they was going to sign, or that they did sign when the Prime Minister saying in Grenada that we have not signed the agreement yet. But while he was saying we have not signed the agreement, he don't give okay to sign it already. Now what that's telling us, our morals has been left low on Grenada. Our moral society has gone down the drain because we don't have no morals. We don't have no morals even in high places. Even in the cabinet of our country, there is no morals.
Job don't care. How job could have moral? And the Prime Minister say he had job in the cabinet.
We understand
He would say he had job in the cabinet, so why are you looking for morals in job in the cabinet?
But where is the churches? The churches has morals.
The churches pray for this guy. You had prayer warriors.
These are issues that we face.
The man calls people to curse, putting mic to the crowd to curse. He tried to call along a dead man and he had people praying there still. So why are you asking all the church for?
Yes, Master.
He's a man that got to read Romans 16, 17. You see, if you grow up in a particular doctrine and you vary it like how they doing now, stay away. That's the Bible say, not me at write that. So if they have anything, you take it up with the Bible. Romans 16, 17. It's just what he talking about. If what the church doing now, and you grow up in church and they're doing different from what you know, he says stay away. Not me at write that. That right since before my time. So that don't surprise me.
That's correct. No, Master Carl, the principle here is this present administration has been disrespecting the Grenadian people.
A long time.
They have shown no respect for anybody, be it in high church or wheresoever. They're living a life of don't care for anybody. The elderly, the young people, the older ones, the hardworking ones, people who knows they show no respect for Grenadians. And these are the issues that we face with in our country. I am saying to these men that govern the country, stick a pin, kneel down and pray and ask God to lead you, direct your steps individually, not collectively, individually, that you're going to make the right decision on behalf of the Grenadian people that you govern, that you're speaking about, you know. You so admire. At one time, people should have learned that, but that is what people vote for. Pity Martinique, Carriacou, and Grenada, you start to call it behind to show that definitely you're going backwards.
You start to call it like biscuit.
Exactly.
Like behind.
Yes. So I am wondering, when you start doing these things and people say, well, nothing wrong with that. It's the same Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique he is referring to. But there is a mainland Grenada. It should have been Grenada alone. Petit Martinique and Carriacou should have been Grenada. If that referendum did hold, it would have been Grenada. And Carriacou and Petit Martinique all included on the passport. This is what we know. This is part of our culture, our inheritance. Now our culture has been belittled by forcing something upon us.
All right, caller.
Okay.
Right. Thanks for the contribution. Devon, you raise you in your response, you mentioned the Attorney General. And I need to go there. Because we had 2 referendums. Let's take the call.
Good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon, Devon. Good afternoon, Master Carl.
Welcome, my friend.
Master Carl, when you check the trend of this government, we always saying this government don't care. And more we speak about it, you see the more manifestation of this government don't care. Mr. Fair, I say, Master Carl, if you really care about people, you go think about the decision you're making, right? Before, think about the people and consult with the people. Let the people have a voice in the decision that you want to make for the country. I'm surprised when you look at with this consultation. You know the Prime Minister had a consult. You see, you have a consultation with Maxim Board. Well, that was a sham. He might made up, he know exactly what he do with Maxim Board already. Or he just have a consultation with your taxpayers' money, which he know definitely what he do. Or he just go, they give him the impression that he have a consultation. So you see, this government continues to demonstrate, especially the Prime Minister, he do it his way. And he do it his way. And everything, I can't believe you as a leader of a party, you're doing something going on, and you don't know about it. I'm saying for anything to become laws, Master Carl, it must have to go to Parliament. Okay, and Cabinet, you have to go to Parliament, and they agree to it. But what if it happen? We take an example with Maxim Board again. When the Maxim Board, the board that we put to manage, Maxim Board say that okay, right? They feel well, they should try to keep Maxim Board, try to restructure Maxim Board. The Prime Minister say no, right? I even hear one day they didn't go to cabinet. Yeah. Mr. Telesford, he called the Prime Minister and told them make the decision what to do with Maxim Board. Right? So that whatever the government, if the cabinet say that and the Prime Minister say not that, he wanted that his way always supersede over the majority of members in the cabinet. And that's what's going on. That's what's going on within this government. The Prime Minister coalition at all times. And I remember the committee to say, yes, you may have cabinet meeting. And if what he had is better in most somebody compare other suggestions for the benefit of the government of the country. You have to give way as the chairperson of the cabinet. You have to give way. But this Prime Minister, Master Carl, he not giving way. What he says, that's what it has to be. He don't care about the people of Greater Carriacou and Petit Martinique. And if you care about the people of Greater Carriacou and Petit Martinique, you always want to make the right decision. The right decision for the benefit and the good of the country. what he's doing, he making decisions for some of the people that are close to him, close associate and his friend. And the majority of the people in the country have to suffer under the wrongful decision that they made for the country. Mr. P, I want to see to Grenadian people. Time for you all to get us speak about it. And I will say in life, Mr. If we have children and they do wrong thing, we should not agree with the right things that the wrong things that they're doing and say we love them. If a child or anyone do something, we're supposed to be man enough to stand up and tell them what they do is wrong. And if anyone stand up and telling someone that what they do is right and they know it's wrong, you do help a person and you do like a person. And I always say is we the people who want to see justice take place in the country, and we calling out the wrongdoing of the government. Want to see the government do what is right, and for the betterment of the people of Greater Caribbean Peter Martin. So, Mr. Carl, have a minute.
Yes. Now, Devon, you mentioned the Attorney General. We are next one? Let's take it.
Good afternoon and welcome.
Master Carl.
Hey.
Devon.
Yes, boss.
Igwe.
Hey.
Yeah. Well, that is NDC GMP grandchildren kicking up now. Because remember 50 years back, like 50 years coming now. Please come out in England and say, I don't sign nothing. I don't sign it. No independent. And the man is lie, ain't it?
Definitely.
The man is lie.
50 years ago, yeah.
Well, look, 50 years coming right there. Right? The grandchildren doing the same thing again. The grandchildren doing the same thing again. But anyway, either man followed the NDC from since 1990. And I know he's a party that can greater, can make it in greater. Can. Because my grandparents and them suffer under blazing, under GMP. You understand? The NDC coming in power and people are suffering still. You understand? But we system and they say it's 5 years.
Yeah.
So
and you know what's ironic? You know, NDC always have a team of persons that are always popular, right?
Yes.
Always popular, but
Yeah,
never means well. Most of them never means well for the country. GNP grandchildren.
Listening to all.
Yes, my brother. One love. Yes. No.
I was telling you, Devon. No.
Furious calls coming in.
Let me take it now.
Good afternoon. Welcome.
Good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, my dear.
Friday evening, I watch on news with the people by the airline complaining. You check it out. I watch it on the coronage. I watch it with the people by the airline. It's like the people and them don't using their senses. Yeah, some people sit down there making money, but they don't looking at what's going on in society, you know. You wake up this morning when you come to work, security say you can't sell it. Who you believe I do that? Hear what I say. If NIS don't want us, they could have come in our argument. NIS I put them at say that. They don't know the government I put them at say this thing to do, and they come in and put it on NIS. Not today they selling there. Oh yeah, man, I'm saying no. Oh, the first government didn't the past government didn't get place and put us, but I hope this government get place and put us. When them don't understand is the government that tell them and the security to move them there. Our crooks and corner money have to make in this Grenada here, you know. They don't realize that. Sometimes the money was on the coronage day. Sometimes the little small change they go pay to put their boat there. They mean that don't know. They have to go and put it in a harbor where they could pay money, you know. And people don't check in their own senses. They don't understand what's going on in society. That budget had to have a money to read. And they're looking for our creek and corner to get the dollar. And they don't want to understand that. They go believe NIS that make them do that. NIS soon do them people that. When they know they're fighting to make a dollar. Yeah, woman value now, but adults pay NIS. I don't know why they putting it on NIS. Read wrong the line. Stop thinking about the negative thinking and the positive. Think what's going wrong the soccer. That budget 2003 budget, up to now a dollar not spending it yet, you know. Where the dollar is, all project, what they're doing, they project them mid-day, you know. How these people are not reading, they don't listening, they don't thinking, they don't have no knowledge in their own self. Sense come before book, read wrong the line. Have a blessed afternoon.
Thank you, my friend.
On a sad note, my condolences out to Auntie Queen and family on the passing of she grandchild. We come out on the same tree, yeah, we come out on the same tree. So one of my branches get birthday from the same tree.
Our condolences.
Yeah, been rough for you too, you know.
Yeah, but a lot of them moving.
Yeah, been rough for you.
Yeah.
The wind heavy.
You go take a break and come back.
Let's take this call.
Let me take the break.
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
How are you doing?
Grenada. I'm good. Something about the press conference last week that kind of the Prime Minister said that kind of had me baffled. When the question was asked, he didn't answer. He referred the question to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and he did answer. But when he done, he piggybacked on what the bishop said, right? And he said, there is a separation between church and state. I want to know what makes him say there's a difference between there's a distance between church and a separation between church and state. When the church has to pray for leaders, the church has to pray for leaders because leaders need guidance.
You didn't know that when he calling young bishop and he had the prayer warriors there?
When they was having all this candlelight vigil, they don't know that state need church. It's all about grant funding. It's all about money. As a lawyer, I think Deacon should be doing much better than that. Because when the question was posed to him, you could hear the people on his, the people on the bully side would have been saying, all this thing when the man talk about, what is that they come talking about? Why is that the question they ask? And look at the question today. The question today has been in a box because there is nothing we could do. We cannot revoke what was done.
Only 5 years down there we could talk about it and we can't do nothing alone.
And as the minister said before school opened, the Minister of Education said it is coming. It is coming. It's already here.
Because the discussion was already in train. And one must understand the Prime Minister and people surprised. The track record of the Prime Minister was fighting against the people of Grenada. He do it for Grenlec, he do it for the breweries, he do it for SGU, he do it for the rice mill. The children of them are born in the house in Sotes. All what he did was to fight against the people of Grenada. So now, don't expect nothing better.
The Prime Minister himself made that speech in St. Lucia a couple of weeks ago that said, they talk about, he condemned the government that was there, that he leading now, the NDC party that he's leading now.
He said they are power and they know how to use it, so he's using the power now.
And he said when you get power, you see yourself, your people. Come on, Grenadians, all you need to wake up. Keep your heads and eyes up. You say, there's no job in the opposition side because we are the scarecrows.
Yeah.
Our eyes are supposed to be open. Let us open up our eyes and see. We are not dumb people. They call us all kind of dumb foolish. All kind of they call us. Classless. We are not classless. Let us think beyond the box. We have to think beyond the box because we say when you see a government doing certain things, wonder, find out who pay. They in Saudi Arabia too regular, they in wherever too regular. Let us know what's going on. Let us open up our eyes and see what is going on. Let us, according to one of them, let us open up our eyes and start to smell the coffee. Have a good evening.
All right, and the caller raise an important point.
Thank you.
Devon.
Yeah.
When you see a government make strange decision, find out who fund the rally and the big fet and I go hard and what they want in return. So this Samoa agreement, did anybody who fund the rally and the big fet wanted that agreement signed?
It is possible.
So here goes. I need a 5 minutes in now, Eagle. So tell the callers and everything. Now Devon raised a point about the Attorney General. And in that whole discussion, what I must say before, I neither here nor there on a person's preference. If a person wants to be, as they say, let it be. I do telling somebody how to be.
Let it be.
So who wants to be in closet, out of closet, anyhow, that a matter entirely for them. And I ain't holding them or judging them in no way. That's them and the maker.
That is a private issue.
I don't think that. But here's what. Now, the question begs, hey, because I see, I want to go through this thing not in an emotional or biased way. I just want to be open in discussing this issue. And how uncomfortable the Prime Minister and the Foreign Minister was with the question. You could see the uncomfort. They was very uncomfortable with the question.
Very much so.
They rather not have the question. Was it a sign of guilt that they know the agreement was already signed? Or they are truly uncomfortable with the implications of the agreement? The question begs, like, and I say, I neither here nor there, and I don't judge nobody, and I don't trying to browbeat nobody here. With this agreement, does abortion legislation comes with it? Does legislation for the LGBTQ comes with it? Does transgender and same-sex education comes along with it?
Yep.
Because do we or would we have to interfere, or do we have, or would the intent of Parliament be to alter our constitution? And here's why I go ask that. During the referendum, the two failed referendum in Grenada, the National Democratic Congress was an opposition party then. The present Attorney General lead the charge. And in the referendum, Devon, in my view, there was a lot of good things. The Carrick and Petty Matnick on the passport.
Lots of good.
Term limit for Prime Minister. And so on. There were things that was good.
It wasn't perfect, but it was the best.
And try to think.
Yes.
And the Attorney General now hang on to the word gender.
Yes.
In the referendum. They made a whole meal about gender in the referendum. Okay. All right. They got you. Because people didn't support the thing. But listen, I must read this now for people to understand. And like I say, I don't beating nobody up. Who wants to be what they want to be is a matter entirely for them. We are all God's children, red and yellow, black and white. All precious in his sight. So who is me to judge anybody? With regards to gender equality, the agreement says that all states signing the agreement must reaffirm their strong commitment to achieve gender equality, the full enjoyment of all human rights by all, as well as everyone's empowerment as a driver for sustainable development. Here goes my question. And you go understand why I go read another part again from the agreement, and you go see where I go with this. they shall embody the principle of gender equality in their national constitutions or other appropriate legislation, says the agreement, that is set to enter into force upon the consent by the European Parliament and ratification by all signatories to this agreement. Okay, so we being fair? No. You have something with Ralph there for me. I want you to set it up because I want people to hear other views. Our piece from Skerrit and other people in Jamaica and things now. When it comes to gender equality, as understood, or first, let me see this. In the agreement, Devon, there is no glossary. And a glossary means words in the agreement, what's the meaning as. So you have to take dictionary meaning and meaning as it relates to the European countries, what it means. Because it does not define in the argument by a glossary to say gender means X, Y, and Z. You see how coming?
So they generalize it.
So when you talk about gender equality in European countries, you speak about abortion legislation. You speak about LGBTQ legislation. You speak about transgender legislation. You speak about comprehensive same-sex education legislations. So if we are to understand by this shall embody the principle of gender equality in their constitutions or other appropriate legislation, says the agreement, that is set to enter force upon by the European Parliament and ratified by parties. So he said, if you don't do it in the constitution, you must do legislation. So I will ask the question, is there any intent for the Parliament of Grenada to alter any laws here because of the signatory to this agreement? And that's a fair question to ask. No.
Very fair.
The Foreign Affairs Minister, upon directive from the ambassador and the technocrats and bureaucrats, must now come to the Grenadian public and say, we sign the Samoa agreement and here's what the implications of this agreement is. Bearing in mind, in no way in the agreement, with all the billions spoken of, I have not seen any help for infrastructure development. So, somebody, we have not seen financing or money for no infrastructure, like roads and bridges and schools and health place and teaching hospital and things. All we see is pay European consultants to come and treat with, so all the money stays back. So, the powers that be must know, because the agreement signed already, the powers that be must now come to the Grenadian public and say what? We had a little misstep. We say in our press conference thing, but logistics and so on, the thing signed. Alright. But here's what, or here's the implication of this agreement on the way of life of you, the citizens. So, we can't expect nothing for infrastructure from it, because there's no any document to talk about infrastructure. And because it is said, Devon, that the part I really wants to be explained. They shall embody the principle of gender equality in the national constitutions or appropriate legislation, says the agreement. What does that mean? Ralph have a kind of idea of it. Let me hear Ralph.
The partnership agreement between European Union and the Organization of the African, Caribbean and Pacific Countries, successor to Cotonou. It's a comprehensive agreement. European Union has its own agenda with several things, as is well known. St. Vincent and Grenadines hasn't signed on to any matter which demands of us that we alter our legislative provisions relating to issues such as same-sex marriages, issues regarding transgender. There's no commitment for us to change our laws in relation to any of these matters. Indeed.
You hear Ralph? So here, so that concern is not only mine. And he made it abundantly clear that the European Union have its own agenda. And when you talk about agenda in the context of the EU, it opens the gate for those things like abortion legislation and others. So, the government of the day, Mr. Deacon Mitchell and Mr. Joseph Andaleo, need to have another press conference where this time he will come clean. And this time he will tell the people what the technocrats and them tell you and how this agreement would affect the country. What? And or to lay the fears, or to make people say, okay, this we don't have to do nothing to the Constitution. But that pathway shall be the principle of international or appropriate legislation say something. Because they already tried to start to direct. And if this agreement was straightforward, why so many countries backing?
Have issues. One of the things, though, within our constitution that stipulates, right, the whole question of burglary. So we call it burglary. It's a part in our laws that basically prohibits man and man, whatever the case may be. Now, understanding what the European Union constitutions and parliaments and so stand for when it comes to that particular issue of gender, the same-sex marriage and everything like that. Now, they are dictating to us, right, that you sign that agreement, you have to adhere basically to the same laws and guidelines as we do in the European Union, right? As you mentioned, the whole question of same-sex marriage and everything like that. Now, what will happen where we sign on to this agreement? You will have persons from the European Union, right, who have, for example, a man and a man who was married, and so they would be allowed to come to Grenada and practice what they have been practicing in their country, for example, France or Italy or Spain, right? Now, how would that go down with our people, right? To see that, I mean, we have laws on our books, right, our constitution that prohibits that. Begs the question, the changes of our constitution.
But listen, and the Europeans understand fully well the implications of tampering with the Constitution, which needs a 2/3 majority. So here how the thing is framed. They shall embody the principle of gender equality in the national constitution or other appropriate legislation. Because they say, you know, by that man and them those strong enough to get this thing so controversial. The constitutional change will not happen. Man won't support that. So here they say all other legislation. But you see, we listen. And as Andy Williams say, listen them men and them. And hold them to it. Hold on, caller, we coming. Your representative Lennox Andrews said, because chatters on the street say when you sign that thing and then we just get money. I don't know if it's true. There are chatters say.
You must get money.
So, when Lennox Andrews say we know how to find money, was that one of the ways, Mr. Andrew, to get money? Because you say you have a lot and it overflowing. So, did you know before I had sign it and to get money? I don't know, I'm asking because you see, I don't telling us. So, we have to speculate. Let me take the call.
Good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah. Are you listening there? But,
Could you just speak up a little bit, please?
Speak up, we're not hearing you.
you know, the quarantine of churches wouldn't come out and
Raise your voice, sir, we're not hearing you.
because of the whole thing of when the election, the state voted the NMP, right? So the churches would not say anything. They're backing them up. So at the end of the day, they can't let the churches vote for them. There is nothing they could do against it. But at the end of the day, I know one they kind of a speak out already. And in the Bible, they speak about sorcerers. So sorcerers don't care. They know what they're doing and they know they're lying for the Canadian people. So the Prime Minister know exactly they signed for the thing before even they come to the conference. All right. Mm-hmm. So each and every one of them know what to do. So they Grenada only can complain from the Prime Minister. They can't do anything. Those representatives cannot do nothing without the Prime Minister. All right.
Mm-hmm. The parties acknowledge that gender inequality deprives women of their basic human rights and opportunities. They shall adopt and strengthen enforceable legislation, legal framework, and sound policies, programs, and mechanisms to ensure women and girls equal access to equal opportunities in equal control over the full and equal participation in every spheres on equal footing with men and boys mandated by the agreement. I didn't write that agreement. So, the Prime Minister and the Minister of Foreign Affairs, you have to come back. You have to come back and explain to the Grenadian public and put all the Grenadian public concerns to rest on this matter. Like I tell you, I need a here now there. Let's take the call.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. How are you?
Not too bad, my friend.
Okay, I have a very simple question. All right? If this is the way we have to approach our 50th year of independence,
I guess
very
so.
simple. If this is...
We don't have a choice.
You know, when you look at those things, actually, you may have the document or some part of the document the average Grenadian doesn't have. What actually is in the document and the long term and the short term effect, what will it have on the average person? Yeah? Is this the way to go in approaching our 50th anniversary of independence? Have a good day.
All right, my friend. You know, I want to put that. One of the most honest of all of them, and I say that I'm guarded cautiously. In all of the ministers that are there right now, you know, is David Andrews. Because he was the one that told us that the thing is coming. Everybody else was backpedaling, but he told us he was coming. Right? And here it is. Now, to the teachers and some of the parents that may have supported that move by the government or whoever. I'm putting you on the spot. Are you prepared to sit in a classroom and not explain but convince people's children that a man and man supposed to marry, and a woman and woman supposed to marry?
Oh, yeah.
I'm wondering if you would put your children sit down and try to convince them that that is the way to go.
Oh, yeah, man.
Right? And I'm calling on our teachers. You are the ones that our parents entrust the education of their children to. I'm asking, I am wondering if you are on board with that. Good afternoon and welcome.
Hey, good afternoon, Devon.
Good afternoon, my friend.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Carl, and good afternoon, Igwe.
Bless up, General.
Welcome.
Everything good, man. Guys, I mean, I've been trying to follow and listening this whole thing. But one of the things that have me scared, baffled, right now I'm lost for words, that have me really worried is the weaponization of words in this whole agreement. And I would like to go as far back as slavery. That we know that our masters, certain words, they would bar those words from us. And I mean, I live in New York City, and you see it happen. You're not free to voice your opinion when it comes towards the Jews. You're being labeled as being
anti-Semitic.
It's never been that you're free to voice your opinion. And this is the same thing that the EU is trying to push onto us. No longer will you be able to say that you don't approve of this person's behavior. Not that you're discriminating against them, but if you understand from past occurrences that happened where people lost their job and where people was charged in Europe there for simply just voicing their opinion, was charged under that same agreement. So it asks, if we sign on to that, that's the type of thing that is coming to us. We think that we are free right now to say whether we disagree. But if you look at the way this thing is going now, voicing your opinion against, you can be labeled as being anti and get charged. And this is the thing we have to really, I want us to seriously pay attention to. Because you don't want to wake up and find out that you doesn't even have a say in this thing. You can't even voice your opinion. You know, and you see this thing happening all the time. This is the new mechanism that these people are using to control us. They take it one step further. No, you can't voice your opinion. When you voice your opinion, they say, no, you're anti. You're harassing.
Transformation in effect.
Exactly. So this is what I'm saying. I'm saying to people, now is not the time to sit back. No, it's not the time. Don't say, oh, it's not my problem. It's not, in my house. It's in all, listen, it's on every step. We have to speak up. We have to reject the state. You cannot allow people to take away your freedom of speech. And I'm wondering because this is the same party that was trumping the chest. Oh, NMP is selling out. NMP is selling out Grenada. NMP is doing this. The stroke of a pen. You're changing our culture. You're taking away that freedom from us that we no longer could say this is right and this is wrong. If we already signed on.
Yeah, we did
So
already.
now you ask yourself now, can I go out there and say, well, no, this is wrong or this is right without facing charges? I mean, this is scary. This is I mean, you know, and I've seen this thing happening out here every day. These people are, put it that way, they answers to no one. They have their way, they do what they want, they say what they want, they go where they want, they operate how they want. And you cannot say nothing. You cannot say nothing about it. And you're telling me that is what we are faced with, all because you quote unquote say that we are going to get aid? And these are the learned people. These are the learned people. This is what baffles me also. These are the learned people that should be able to look through this agreement and see the hidden agenda of the agreement. But like I say, I mean, the inclination of the lifestyle of those people, I mean, that doesn't baffle me. And it doesn't baffle me why the signing took place, you know? So I like to rest here for now, brother. Thank you.
All right.
All right, my friend.
Where is Teacher Jude in all of this?
Well, I've not heard him as yet.
And the question is, if the laws here are not changed by the political directorate, would they instruct the police to turn a blind eye when the European tourists start to come here and behave in a particular, because they would understand the agreement and the gender part of the agreement, they will understand how it affects them in the country. And if those here are to be consistent, if they come here and doing stupidness, would the police turn a blind eye?
Well, I would guess because the police would be an
because you have a lot of implication to this thing.
Very much so.
So if they come here and just opening bottle cock with them out anyway, would the police turn a blind eye? Because you see the legislation say here, you have to be in agreement with the European Parliament and you have to either constitution change or appropriate legislation. So these questions ought to be asked. And like I say, I'm neither here nor there on person's behavior, but I'm just speaking in terms of the issue of the laws of the land. So if the tourists come and start to behave in a manner not befitting to what we know, would the police have to turn a blind eye based on this agreement? No. One has... Yeah, let's take the call. Good afternoon, call.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I mean, I listening to this whole thing, yeah? And I ask myself, where is Sanford Simon? Where is the people that used to be jumping up and kicking Mitchell back when some of these things and them been going on? Teacher Jude, I want to know where are you today? I could remember one point in time, Abulaman boat only passing with waters. Huh? And the amount of blows Kit Mitchell get. Where are these people and them today? Some of us Grenadians are so hypocrite. I ask myself sometimes, if I really been around some of these people and them, because I can't imagine how we could really sit down and here you know all this thing going around. And nobody to say nothing. Everybody just sit in a corner and they pretending.
I can't do corruption and they nothing.
They pretending they don't hear what's going on. I mean, come on, Grenadians. Now is the time for us to speak out. Now is the time for us to speak out. And all of us just sit down and we're not saying anything. He can Mitchell, if you have Bulaman thing, you can't.
Hey, let me do. Hey, hello. The language. Unlike them, little children listening.
Yeah. Let's see that on the radio.
That's stupidness now. Everybody sit down, time and you come out and say something now.
Open their mouth zip, their hands on their lip.
All of them sit down and everybody keeping their mouth shut. Huh? So that's a joke now? Hopeful Jude, time to come out, say something. Everything probably was a demonstration all about come out now, hit the street because that's what all you know and kick Mitchell time. Now it's the time for you to
This
do it
also
now.
lighting mass and two
You
again.
say, you're saying you didn't hear nothing about under Kit Mitchell and then you're so shame. You come and talk about Emily Pierre. You could have heard Emily Pierre in the time. And now you don't hear who you are to hear. But you should have been ashamed of yourself. You should have been ashamed of yourself, boy. To come on the radio and talking this kind of stupidness now. Them teachers and them have you like some kind of cartoon. What happened to you? I stand for you to stop that stupidness and them. All right.
Okay, my dear.
And then when the argument is signed with the old colonial masters, you know, so you think they go want to best source or just to keep us like how it was?
Well, it's just a reinstatement of the whole.
So I think the perfect song should be singing a comeback again.
Yeah, come back again.
But you don't think
Good afternoon and welcome. Hello.
You remember when the boat they come here?
Yes.
With the gay people and
I
them?
remember that.
You know how much all radio station you put your radio on, the calling program, Kit Mitchell selling Grenada for nothing? You know how many people demonstrate against that people call radio station? You know what they didn't say? Well, not now I hear in all the year beginner here they're talking about that. And I don't hear no mouth saying nothing. Everybody have shut mouth. So why they not talk now? The teachers and them have to say something because they will have to teach the children. They don't say nothing. Nobody can make them go, you know. They have a union. So they have to say something when you hear they have teachers meeting. Call the parents up and say something. Why nobody don't say anything? Kit Mitchell a Grenada for sale, bringing out gay people. You don't understand why this thing is going on, Master Carl. You don't understand what's going on. The people and them that buy the passport are coming and live here with some of them here, you know. All the passport are selling there. Them who come in and live in this
That last to protect them.
what's going on they know, you know. Because a lot of them, some of them here is just at what they're doing there now. They don't understand what is going on in this little Grenada here. Everybody shut them out before Dr. Mitchell do something, or before teachers go out and they strike, before police they strike. Everything striking, the port closing down every Christmas. Nobody don't say nothing now, you know. Everybody shut them out. No placard going on. Nobody don't selling Grenada, huh? I'll go hear about you later on. Everybody shutting them out. Like, I don't know, as they say, Papa God coming, so that's why everybody shut them out. I'll hear about you later.
You know, and I want to let it be known. At this point in time, it's fair game to go after, well, not just go after some people, but to ask them certain questions. And I'm throwing these questions out to all the members of cabinet. All the members of cabinet. Those of you who have children going to primary schools and secondary schools, and in particular to you, the Minister of Education, would you agree and allow for the teachers to be teaching your child or our children about same-sex marriage? Would you be comfortable in teachers telling your child that a man and man could have sex? Would you be comfortable doing that? But if you're not comfortable with that, why force it on our children? Why? And it's fair game. Because remember, the agreement is signed. And it is signed by our government. You are a member of government. Mr. Telesford, you are a church-going person. You visit church every Sunday with your family. Are you comfortable at this point in time sitting in a cabinet that allows the laws of this land to dictate what your child should believe when it comes to same-sex marriage? And I'm sticking on that point, the whole question of the man and man married in, and the woman and woman married in. And I'm mixing words for it. We have to say it clear and plain. Are you comfortable? Because if you're not, why are you comfortable with they teaching my child that? That's fair game for you all of you at this point in time. Even if I see you on the street, I will ask you the question. My parliamentary representative, Mr. Andrews, I would ask you that question. Are you comfortable with your children and grandchildren being taught, right, about same-sex marriage or being forced upon them when their parents have not agreed for you to do that because they are parents in their home? You cannot teach these things. So imagine they can't do it in their home, but the government is allowing the teacher to teach my child in that in school.
Let's take the call.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
Yes. I'm a bit angry right now. Been angry since maybe Friday night or something like that. Because I believe in the one true God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel. And God created man, he created all men equal. And he never gave man dominion over man. And he gave us a manual by which we should live by. And that manual is the Bible. And there is absolutely no way that I am going to compromise when it comes to my belief. Now, based on what is happening in Grenada, that means that they're going to ban the Bible. Because already there are many countries whereby if you read the Bible certain places,
in school,
they consider it to be hate speech.
Oh, yes.
Right? And as for me, I don't care. I shall not compromise. Grenada is no longer an independent country. Because if it is the Europeans who are going to dictate to us what is wrong and what is right, European is not above me. Neither am I above them. God created all men equal. This is the God I believe in, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel. And he is the one that gave us instructions when it comes to morality. And even my common sense teach me, how can I go to bed with a man, an ex-man, right? Or a woman and a woman, a man and a beast. I saw some video some time ago. This man in Germany have a German Shepherd dog. He said that is his wife. He said the first dog died. I guess he abused it so much. But it becomes legal to practice bestiality, right? Abusing children. You're teaching children lies in school, right? Because man and man can't marry. The creator God, the one who creates man, tell us what is marriage. So who can come and tell me, and for me to accept that two men sodomizing each other, gonna come and tell me husband and wife? Then I must be a fool to believe that. How can I believe such things? Do I have a brain in my head? Do I have any sense of understanding? Are you telling me that you are superior to me when it comes to thinking? Or are you claiming that you is the creator? You create man, so you decide after the human being been on the earth for centuries, all of a sudden, no, 2 men, that's okay. 2 women, that's okay. The disease, the destruction that comes with such things. I'll tell you what, Grenada finished.
Yeah, man.
Grenada finished.
Yeah,
and
man.
I don't care what they do to me, but there is no way.
Down there,
I don't care what, I am not going to compromise. Right? Mark the day, the hour, the minute, and the minute that I'm making a statement. No compromise. I'm willing to die for my village. Have a good day.
Thank you, my friend.
I appeal to you, brothers, to watch out for those who cause division and create obstacles contrary to the doctrine that you have been taught. Avoid them.
Yes.
Not me at right, that Romans 16:17 does say the Lord. So if this present government causing contrary to the doctrine of what you have taught, avoid this government and vote them out.
Beware of them and avoid them. Get them out.
But Igwe, if now that the Europeans know that the agreement St. and Grenada signed Devon, if they may come down here and decide to do the thing, what would be the situation of the RGPF?
Well, you see,
based on that signing.
No, Mr. Massacre, take a point. They have signed the agreement, right? But they have not done anything in Parliament as yet to change off. So we still have a window. We don't
have a window. Once the agreement signed.
But okay, let me ask you that. The agreement is signed. But if the laws that it affects within our constitution, nothing is done about it. What would be the result?
How you go sign and allow the European and lock up a European for the loyal side?
Listen to, that's what I'm trying to make the point. If this government has to come to Parliament to ratify, right, this agreement, whether it is a 2/3 majority or they have to referendum, if that is not done, that agreement cannot stand. It is not binding, it cannot stand because Parliament has to make the changes that is required, you understand, to implement that agreement. So there is still a window of opportunity for those politicians. And I will hope our Grenadian people will continue to put pressure on them to let them know that we are not going down that road.
Devon, once you sign the agreement, you could only talk to the Europeans about the agreement 5 years down the road. You can't talk to them now.
So let me ask
once you sign, the only time you could bring any concern based on the agreement is 5 years down the road. That is in the agreement.
Okay, you remember you talk about what will be the position, right, of the RGPF. If this agreement is not ratified by Parliament, right, whether they change some legislation or they go to referendum, if that is not done, nothing, the RGPF can't do anything. They themselves will be breaking the laws. Good afternoon and welcome.
Hey, good afternoon, sir. How are you doing?
Not too bad, my friend.
All right. The last caller that called, I tend to disagree somewhat. When you say Grenada done, I don't agree with that statement. I think we have the power, we still have the power as Grenadians to shift things around. And if all of us be lukewarm and say, well, Grenada done, that is succumbing to what is being signed. I think that we have to now, more than ever, get up, hit the street, protest through the church, through the school, because that's going to destroy us if we succumb to it. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you, my friend. Yeah, so there's a lot of work to be done. And I know as we are doing here, we are trying our best to sensitize the Grenadian public as to what our politicians has get us into. And we must continue to do that without stopping. Good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon again. I just want to make that final point. When I look at the Archbishop and his statement, he says he's sorry for those small islands. Say he's sorry for those small islands that don't even read properly and the people don't understand and the people, that go and sign. He's sorry for the small islands and them. And that means serious that he was having a homily in his church. And that caused for concern. He said he's glad that his country, this Trinidad, did not sign as yet. Because even if the foreign minister said he don't think Jamaica and Trinidad sign in. Because they have to consult the people, and it's a good thing. But they didn't choose to consult with us. So they just putting in people's face and just say that their business, they don't swallow it. And can remember the minister of housing said that the principal tell them don't bother with us. Don't bother with the haters and the naysayers. Don't let them distract them. So they could just do what they want. And when power gets to people, they do whatever they want. Have a good evening again.
Thank you. We are in a serious situation, and I continue to urge the Grenadian people to pay attention to that agreement, learn more of it, understand it, and then take actions. Good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon. I'm calling from Union in St. Andrews. My name is Shirley, but I have a problem because I have an outstanding not to dress me for 3 months now. I don't see enough.
What area you say you're calling from?
Union. St.
I'm in
Andrews.
St. Andrews.
All right.
But the person said 3 months, no?
3 months now, she have a something that needs to be dressed and then dressed.
And I guess you have to go to the Moncamel.
I don't dress it for myself because me aunt and them bring things for me from America to dress it. Because I can't go in the surgery after fall.
Wow.
Boy.
That is a serious concern. Thanks very much, caller, for letting us know.
Yeah.
Wow. I have an next call on the WhatsApp list.
Good afternoon and welcome.
Unmute your call, caller.
Hello, good afternoon.
No matter waiting, your call back. You have to call mute.
All right. Yeah, I mean, Grenada this group of politicians has put us in a new phase, right? I mean, imagine we are about to celebrate 50 years of independence, and they brought us back 50 years. They brought us back 50 years by agreeing to agreements like that. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome.
Yeah, I'm on right now.
Good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon.
I'm on right now.
Good afternoon. Make your contribution.
Yeah, because I don't know. Anyway, I hear that all they'll be getting back the $200. I mean, the $150 they take back from the poor people. The seed program. I understand that they're getting.
They have to make it 650.
They have to make it 650.
And I hope it's retroactive.
Yeah, not finished. Hold on. Listen, just tell you what I hear. I hear they're getting $200, and I hear also the Imani ladies. Sorry, I apologize to the people. Imani people will be they're putting on $500 more. But what I want to really talk about too.
And how much you putting on theirs?
I know, I hear about that yet.
You should find out.
Right. Anyway, what I really want to talk about is this lies. Because if you can stand up publicly and tell the nation that you didn't sign, and then you're hearing releases of the things all over the place, and not only that, but you see on the regional television, because I have cable, where there was a big signing ceremony. So I just find that this is just blatant and bull-faced lying. Do you expect me, Anne-Marie, to believe anything that comes from your mouth? The answer is no. Do you expect me to have confidence in you? Do you expect me to well, I don't even have the slightest ounce of confidence in you? But I want to say too is that you see this thing about teaching gay and lesbians and things in school that was announced early on. I condemn that because that is just there's no way that people could impose that lifestyle upon children. These things must come naturally. That is my position. So they shouldn't be doing that. As it relates to the agreement, I'm not particularly happy in terms of forcing all these kinds. It must be not those sort of a conditionals where you see the world is outraged and you know about these things, and it's a so-called Christian society. You can't impose these conditions on people to make that an agreement. So I'm not supporting that. But I really have to say unapologetically, because I think you all know me, hear me say that already. I have no apologies for saying I'm a strong supporter of the gay and lesbian community, because I think Devon must be hear me say that because he does be on the radio with Shaggy. Because I think love is love, and you could love who you want. You could have sex with who you want, I don't see nothing wrong with man marrying man, woman married. Oh, there's nothing wrong with it. That's not my personal business. But what I have a problem with the agreement, if it is what it says, that you imposing those sort of values on a nation that is supposed to be a Christian nation, and on a nation that doesn't conform to that values. So basically, that is where I have a problem with it. And also have a problem with, even though I'm supported and I see nothing wrong with it, and I don't care who they could love who sex is not my business. You cannot teach that children in school. You cannot impose a lifestyle on a children, because I wouldn't like, well, I don't know children, and I don't time don't pass for children, I'm a pensioner. And
Makes sense.
There's no way I could accept or uphold that I have a niece or nephew or somebody that they have to go to school and the government is imposing and telling them to have sex, who to love and to teach gay and lesbian. No. In as much as I support the lifestyle and thing is, I can't support you teaching of it. I find this is foolishness. You can't impose that on children. You can't impose that on people and finally, let me just say again, let me reiterate, those conditions, if it's true, which I have no doubt, I'm not particularly happy with that, because if this is in contravention of what the Christian values are of the country, then there should be consultation or some form of referendum or however you do it, but have a consultation. But don't really force it, because that is not what the people believe. You have to go by what the majority. I might be just the minority, but I think I can't support that. But I have no apologies for telling all you, I'm a supporter. You heard that already from me. I'm gay and lesbian. They could marry who they want. They could love with who they want. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Thank you, my friends. Have a great day.
You too, bless.
Good evening.
Igwe?
I don't know, no, Papa.
Mr. Commissioner of Police, I want to hear your view on this argument. Because charges are brought in your name. I want to hear.
It would be very nice.
Let's take the call.
Good afternoon and welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon, Devon. Igwe Master Call. How are you doing, sir?
Good afternoon, sir.
Right.
Hey, man, are you good?
Yeah, we have some a little bit of sad news in the Lafayette and Andrews area. In the
Yeah, let me
sense
hear.
that a woman from St. Andrews from Lafayette went to do a surgery. And after the surgery has been completed, there was not a basic medication in the hospital.
There was not medication in the hospital?
There was not medication in the hospital to really treat
And I, Jonathan, know that.
who has done that surgery. So the family had was to see in what way they can be able to purchase the medication. And as a result of that, we lost that woman. It's really sad. I'm going to send a message to the Ministry of Health. If you know to yourself that you do not have medication in the hospital to treat a patient after the completed surgery, please don't do the surgery in there. Don't do the surgery.
Or as per usual, tell the people to buy it early.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Purchase it early. And don't make as soon as the surgery finish, then they have to run here and everywhere.
Scramble for the eggs.
Scramble. And it is another case after I lost my mother the 5th of August of this year.
A similar
in Killahall.
case?
And right now we have another case again. And it's not something I'm making up. It's something that I get from a family member of that very said woman. May her soul rest in peace. And Jonathan Ackert, I hope that you are listening to that. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Pastor. You hear that?
You hear that, eh?
Yeah. It is. And you know, we continue, our persons continue to say how good this government is performing, how much they are doing.
That is the diehards on the say.
Right, and so, but yet for all, our people are dying for simple medical reasons. Right? Things that can be avoided. Look at the whole situation with the medication in our hospitals. Months, more than a year now, persons have been appealing to the Ministry of Health to do something about the situation when it comes to medication, basic medication in our hospital and our health centers and so. And there's no answer. Lakowede. Good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
You're good now. You're on mute.
How y'all guys doing?
Not too bad, my friend.
Mr. Devon?
Yes, sir.
After all these years, we never met yet.
Well, apparently the Lord don't want us to meet us yet. That's all I can say. Perhaps we see each other and have a conversation, but not knowing who each other is.
I don't.
Yeah, after all these years.
I don't.
Big way.
Yeah. You try to get away, but you don't get away. You try to think.
Master call.
Here you go.
Master call.
Hey.
Master call.
Yay.
Listen to me.
Uh-huh.
The avoidance of responsibility that these guys has been executing for the longest while is the best thing for them. You know? There's a saying: the higher the monkey climb, the more it becomes exposed.
Yeah.
So if these guys are trying to avoid to have press conference, is the best thing for them, because every time they try to have a press conference, the more they become exposed. So maybe people should be glad for them when they avoid having to explain things to the people.
Real FM have forced them into that press conference.
On Friday, when I called your program, there were 3 guys doing a walk close to where I was talking, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they overheard what I said. I was a little distance from them, but they're hearing me. When I had to pass to them to go where I have to go, and they stopped me and bring up the conversation of the press conference and what the lie that the Prime Minister and the Foreign Minister presented. Last night, I was talking to a young guy. We played domino together, a whole lot. And the guy brought up the subject matter to me. And he was pointing out the anger that his co-workers, he works in a hotel, and there are a lot of workers around him. And he was telling me the anger that the people on the walk was expressing relative to that whole issue. And I'm talking about particularly to the press conference and the implications of it, of the agreement that was signed. People are listening. People are up in arms already about this whole issue. Seriously. And the hypocrisy, the lie that showed up, where they're trying to claim that the Prime Minister is exactly trying to claim that he doesn't know what is in the agreement and this kind of thing. That is a whole set of nonsense. So leadership by avoidance is very good for these guys and them. The higher the monkey climb, the more it becomes exposed. People are seeing, people are listening, people are recognizing what is going on. You know, like some people say, they say, people know what is Calypso?
Yeah, the people know.
What is Kaisto? People know. People are listening, people are noticing. The implication of this thing is so horrible for our country. And watch me. It's interesting that you all have a clip coming from one of the prime ministers who see how obnoxious the whole thing is.
Yeah.
Rav Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Let him be the spokesman for the Caribbean area, for the OECS, for the whole area that has that kind of responsibility for us. Because the thing is dreadful. It's ugly. Yes, we expect Sodom and Gomorrah to be because of prophecy, but we doesn't have to accept it. There's a big difference. And in the given situation, the Prime Minister, instead of answering the question, deal with it. He has a responsibility. He passed it on to his Foreign Minister, who didn't even actually answer the question properly.
But what was interesting?
Claiming that
as the Prime Minister started to speak, he started to speak about morality. You know?
You know already.
And it will be interesting for you all to listen to and have clips from the lecture that he did on Wednesday. And wasn't it the same Wednesday? He did a lecture for to the Bar Association annual, what do you call it? What is his name again? Mr.
Archibald,
Ned.
so Archibald Ned.
Judge Ned.
Yeah.
Archibald Ned. Memorial lecture. He was the guest speaker in that one. And there are other things he said there that contradicts the whole perception that the man is trying to get to us to understand.
The man is a fake.
You have you have a man who disrespect the court ruling on the Friday before he swearing the ministers and them in Queen's Park. When the teachers' case was brought forward, or the judgment was brought forward, the Friday the ruling was given by the judge. On Sunday, when they had the swearing in, he announced that the teachers would be getting the money that was deducted from the salary. When the judge said that they're not legally entitled to it, he defied the court. And he's going to talk about morality and rule of law? Nah, man, he doesn't qualify for that. This man is a serious anomaly. You know? And you know, last night, in this conversation with a young man, the man recognized the kind of person the guy is, you know. The guy see the evil in that man, you know. And apparently he's a supporter of the NDC. I didn't go as far as to ask him that. But I recognize that he recognized, and he said it to me, that he see the evil in the man. The hypocrisy, the lie that we end up with in this country as a prime minister, it is a serious anomaly, a serious situation we end up in. Like they say, woe be unto you, woe be unto Grenada right now. We're in a serious situation, a terrible situation.
All right, caller.
How to get rid of it is a difficult proposal. Take care, gentlemen.
Right, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, Juan?
Yeah, well, as I always say, that our Prime Minister, he's a fake.
Yeah, Mr. Pedro
right? He's a liar. He's dishonest. And as he speaks and does things, just so does his ministers follow. All of them. It is shameful to know we have a group of young politicians who's supposed to making our country proud. Right? And so, to be standing in front of the Grenadian people outright and lie to them, be dishonest to them, to shove Grenada down a hole that it may never get out of in the next 20 or 25 years. And I have to question again because it's fair game. How do we want the parents, our children, to agree when you have when the school will allow same sex or a girl and a man and a boy and a boy to be okay? How would that happen? And I repeat again, when I am teaching my child at home to be aware of those sorts of morality, the government, who's supposed to be the ones basically spearheading the charge in educating our children, is going contrary to the family and the family values. Good afternoon and welcome.
Hey, good afternoon again. One more time. Yes, I'd like to say the agreement is for 20 years. And the thing about it is that now that we're hearing there from one of the callers that these guys are promising to give back the 150, and also they're promising to give the money workers $500 additional dollars. I want to say to our people, we are not up for sale. We are not up for sale. Do not refuse the money. We will take it, but we will not sell out.
Yeah, we spending the money.
We would not sell out. We're going to take the money, but we are not selling out our identity, neither our dignity. Again, I want to appeal to us as a people. We are not up for sale. We are not going to refuse the money. We will take it, but we are not selling out our dignity. We will remain dignified. Thank you, guys.
That's me a fair devil.
When the Governor General call upon you to take the oath of office as Prime Minister of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique, the things that you are promising us here tonight is not politics, but is from your heart and your conscience. I would like you to promise us that, and want to hear it from you, fellow citizens of Guam. I promise you that what I'm saying is not politics, but from my heart. I want to hear those words from you. Thank you.
Well, let me do it this way. Fellow citizens of Guam, and to all of the citizens of Petite Martinique, Carriacou, and Grenada, I commit to you that what I've said to here tonight, and what I've been saying in all of my Wednesday meetings, it is coming from my heart, it is coming from the heart of the National Democratic Congress, and we commit that when we form the government on the 24th of June 2022, it will not be politics as usual, but it will be the transformation of Grenada.
Wow. So you see, since then the guy, yes. So even the lies Wednesday was from his heart.
Yeah, from his heart. He planned.
So Mr. Pierre say he planned the thing.
Mr. Pierre is correct. He is correct all along.
And so, you see, and somebody asked him that, eh?
Mm-hmm. And he gave the commitment to a senior citizen.
Yeah, that was a senior. Elder.
He gave the commitment. And yet, that's why they say power corrupts.
Absolute power corrupt, absolutely.
And he made it clear, he said it right, in St. Lucia. His government, the party that he's ruling now, when they was in government, they had power. And they did not know what to do with it. They still was fighting for more power.
Listen, so you have to
because we have lived the divided you fall, and we have lived the united we stand. In 2008, after a decade in opposition, the people of Grenada elected the National Democratic Congress into office. And within 2 years of being in office, the division started. Men who had power and who couldn't even use the power started to fight for more power. Let me say that again. Men who had power, the people elected them into office. They couldn't use the power for which the people elected them. But instead of using the power to do the people's work, they started to fight amongst themselves. In conferences like that, men get thrown out, women get thrown out, legendary trade union leaders get thrown out, party general secretary get thrown out. Parliament couldn't sit because men don't have a majority. Elections were called in 2013. The party that I now led, after having a 11-15 majority in Parliament, lost every single seat in the 2013 elections. Instead of learning from the lessons and saying, let us put our differences aside. Let us come together for the people of Grenada. Let us come together for the National Democratic Congress. 5 years in opposition wasn't enough. They continued the division. They continued the fighting. Elections were called in 2018. And the National Democratic Congress, pardon my French, got its ass cut again, 15-0.
Let's take the call.
Good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon, Master Carl. Good afternoon, Devon Igwe.
Good afternoon, my friend.
Right. So listening to all those clips, right? I will say that our honorable Prime Minister of this country here, Sir Deacon Mitchell, right? He is blatantly absurd and he's blatantly unfit for office. And he was rightly so called by Dr. Mitchell. Right? Him and Mr. Andel, Joseph Andel, in light of all these things that is happening right now, where is Claudette Joseph, the appointed AG, the appointed Minister of Legal Affairs? Where is she? Right? We have to find out why these men are flying to Saudi Arabia, to Dubai, and all these countries in the Middle Eastern region. Why? Yeah? When Deacon came into office, he said he going to get a plane. All these things this man saying. And listen to me. Once again, I'm saying Grenadians, NDCIs and NPIs, listen to what Deacon's saying and make a judgment. I have my bias. All of us have a bias. But my God, you come to a press conference, right? Belgium is 5 hours ahead of us. You have an ambassador that signed an agreement that you and your Prime Minister said that you're not going to do, or you wasn't doing. And yet still you have your goons going on radio, going on social media and saying, oh, well, we sent it. Master Carl, listen what I want you guys to do for us. Let's get to the bottom of Deacon Mitchell's cell phone records, because they want about Shellon and cell phone get. Let me find let me find out who Deacon calling. Let me find out who Ron calling. Let me find out who the one in Guelph calling. You understand? And the one that have bank account in Karakou, $2. Let me find who they calling. They want to play evil? Let's play. Forget Keep Mitchell. Keep Mitchell having little meetings. NP having meetings. And NP had supporting meetings. Let me go. Don't worry about them. Don't worry. Let me find who is doing what and when. Have a good afternoon.
All right, my friend.
Because I always used to wonder why Tillman Thomas so silent.
Yeah.
What, excuse my French? You let's take it.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon again.
Yes, my friend.
Lift your voice, you Lou. Lift your voice.
Listening everything there, and from 2008 to 2018 there. At the end of the game, the guy putting himself in a hot water and he don't know how to get out of it, so he putting himself to the public, and he put himself to the public as to run for as Prime Minister, and he get it, and he started doing what he wants because he have already said nobody telling him what to do. And he doing his thing and he just go there, and at the end of the day that we, the Grenadian people, put him there, and the time will come, if soon after, we know what to do. Hands put them there, hands going to get them out. Thank you.
All right, my friend. No, again, it's fair game. When you have a group of politicians leading this country, the actions, right? And so we have to follow them.
Yeah, let me take it.
Master Carl, Devon, good afternoon. Devon, under NDC administration, all sectors in Grenada take a nosedive. Health, infrastructure, culture, all them different sectors taking a nosedive. Because when NDC came in government, You don't see development in nothing at all. The only thing that you might see that going on is them helping themselves, helping them while the people of the country suffering more. I'm going to call again, Devon. You have when you have a government ministers and prime minister going to a program with a man who goes criticizing church, saying all evil things about the church, have no respect for the sinners, have no respect for the elders in the country, and not even for the young people. You don't expect nothing better from them. And we should not be surprised of what is going on with this government. Because this government is a government that only see themselves and themselves alone. They see nobody else. But I call upon the people of Grenada, Caribbean people, Martin, stand out, speak out. Because we say Grenada is a Christian country, and the values of our country going forward, it must be on the things of God. Because we say righteous exalted nation, sin is a God to every man. And the principle of the things of God have to supersede what man said. And I will say, if you have something going on in your country, you should not dictate to other person to do it. Pressure them. Because they might need something from you, so you have to pressure them to give you what for you to give them what they want. That's it. If you know you want me to do something illegal and something not in the constitution of the country, keep what you want to give me, and I will keep the right procedure and the right thing that is the law of God in our country. Forget your money and let us stand for the principle of God and not the principle on the fancy of man. What man want to do. Yes, you want to do a thing in another country, go ahead and do it, but you should not demand to me how I should run my because I might come to you and say I want that money. You give me that. If I do that, I will get money. But if I don't do it, I can get out. I keep what I want, and I will stand on the principle and the things of what is right and of God, and not what EU want me to do. All right.
Thank you, my friend.
We have a next one. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. Welcome.
Master Carl, good afternoon. I by now you should catch the voice.
Hey.
Hey, what happening?
Easy.
You there? Watch now, Master Carl.
Hey.
Now, this is not the first time the people in authority in Grenada do that to Grenada in public. I could remember in 1974 when Mr. Blaze and Mr. Ben Jones went with Eric Matthew Gary in England to sign for independence. They came back and tell us stupid. They think we are stupid that they didn't get independence.
That's true.
We hearing that now, these people and them, and they have press thing outside where they sign. It's not nothing new to Grenadians.
But if the Prime Minister is saying he doesn't know, I know what else he don't know about what's happening.
What he doesn't know, what he telling people that don't know him that, Carl. He doesn't know what? What is it he doesn't know? Why is he doing that to us in Grenada? Why is he doing that?
Wow, that.
But because as I just sit down there and I say, no, this is not the first time these people and them do that to us. These people and them in 74 do that to us. So they take a pattern and they come and they go out in England and the same England, you know. Now they come back and tell us they ain't sign nothing. Well,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Get me woman to live with.
All right.
Have a good evening.
Right.
But there are serious parallel.
No, yeah. Serious parallel.
They say they didn't sign and this do sign thing.
Yeah. And that's why I continue making my issue with fair game. Fair game for my parliamentary representative. And I will continue to advocate that. I'm wondering if you are going to take your children, send them to school and have the teachers or the school teach them that having a man and a man having sex is okay, according to the laws of this country. How are you? Are you comfortable, Mr. Andrews, Mr. Tellisford, right, Mr. Ron Redhead? You guys have children, just like all of us. We have children. When you are teaching your child values in your home, let's take the call.
I'm mad.
Good afternoon and welcome.
Yeah, just quickly, I'm not talking about this gay and so.
Go right ahead, Miss
I just
Ivan.
wanted to say, I said it's $200. I understand that they're going to be putting thing, not for the guy said he quote 150. I didn't say 150, my friend. I said 200.
All right, okay.
But I just want to zero in on the comments made by the political leader on this platform in St. Lucia. I ain't talking about interference. But that's interference into the people business, and you should apologize. I know. Think about that. You're out of order. Stay in your lane. Get out of the people business. You don't himself know the man from Adam, and the man tell you to apologize. So apologize and stop being arrogant. I pay you, so you must apologize. But to listen to the comments where he is as the leader washing, let's say, dirty linens of the party, his party, in another country, in publicly for people, I think Deacon Mitchell, person who is the founder of this party, because you just come, you are Johnny come lately. You come in and you have a party that was already in government, had a solid foundation, and the only reason why they didn't have get election involved, when I say they didn't win, really, is because under the system of proportional representation, they would have got 6 seats. Yes, NNP is the king, I have no problem with that. But under the other system, so all these votes you come and meet. So you just chill out. But to make all these kind of remarks, if George Brisson was alive, he would have called for all you before the disciplinary committee and expel you or do something like that. It's your party, and it's that you could use those kind of words, ask and all kinds on a platform. You know, I think that is gross, highly disrespectful to the people who have over the 27 years, because you just called to who have built the party and made sacrifices when the party was thrown out and the office, who pay rent, who all kind of thing, and during the COVID, all these people who sacrificed spending from home to home when you was nowhere wrong. So to go and make those sort of comments and wash the dirty linens of the party in public, it was George Brisson. He'd have called you before the disciplinary committee and throw you out. You don't do these things on the party. And it's also because of the party, the party that won the election, you know, on the issues that was prevailing at that point in time, mainly the non-payment of pension and the contract work, and to do no transformation. One person in Grenada who I think could win election on their own is Keith Mitchell. Not you, Deacon Mitchell. You have to come in the party because you don't see how all those other people that try to get party to have party, they fail. So if you were so happy, why did you come into to NDC, have your party on your own, and contest and see how much elections you could win? It's the same party that you're condemning, the same party, but I shouldn't say condemning, the same party that you're washing dirty linens on in St. Lucia. It's the same party that have you who you are today.
All
They
right.
put you in prominence.
All right,
This
Mr.
is
Mary.
disrespectful.
Thank you, and have a wonderful evening.
Right.
Yeah. No, the issues are so touchy when it comes to this whole question. And like one of the person's comment, what would be the situation if a teacher refuses to teach in the school or to teach a particular subject concerning LGBTQ or same-sex marriage, whatever, and he refuses? What will the government do? No, all these are questions that has to be asked. It's fair game.
What find?
It is fair.
What happened to the
game.
teacher if they don't want to teach that?
Well,
me and Devon thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, how can what will happen? These politicians have put the Grenadian society into a whole tailspin. Good afternoon and welcome. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon, ma'am.
Afternoon. You all doing a good program, man.
Thank
nice
you.
program.
Thank you very much.
And we're gonna get back. NNP. Bye. You know, Ketan, Mr. Ketan, I love you.
All right.
I will talk to you when I see you. You know who it is. Bye.
We have a next call on the WhatsApp. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, Igwe, Masakal, Devon, right? I want you guys to just take a look at the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, right? there is something going on in Parliament with the Speaker of the House, where the Speaker say he want to cut the media from live streaming the parliamentary proceedings, right? That is one. Secondly, there was another proceeding in the Parliament where the Prime Minister was accused of getting a BMW car and a house from donors, right? The Prime Minister of St. Lucia has been accused of being corrupt. Masakal, Igwe, Devon, go and investigate that, because what is happening right in St. Lucia is very dangerous when it comes to democracy, especially the Speaker of the House. I have it. I will send it for you, Masakal. I will send it for you, Devon Romain. But the Speaker of the House is saying that he doesn't want to proceed with certain things when he and the op leader, Mr. Chassade, and they was going on things. And I'm telling you, learn well, because it go happen in Grenada with Deacon and he team, because it's closely shadowing what happening here with our Speaker of the House when Mr. Leo is he was on a platform for NDC, right? So he is already tainted. Look at it. St. Lucia Parliament, the Speaker of the House, I think his name is Francis, some Francis guy, whatever his name is. But the NDC team is pushing out as, look it up and you will tell me how go on. But the Speaker of the House in St. Lucia is threatening to turn down the media from doing their work, and it's coming bordering close to what I call draconianism and communism. Have a good afternoon, guys.
Good afternoon, my friend.
We have an next one again.
Good afternoon, welcome.
Yes, good afternoon to you, gentlemen.
Yes, man.
How are you all doing?
Not too bad, sir.
So I listened these clippings there. So much things are going through my mind. But let me ask you this. It says that in some of the dictionaries that politics is a method of dividing a country's wealth among its people. But it stops short of saying equal. Yeah? But could you define to me the science of politics? Because I asked this question to many leaders over and over, and I'm yet to get the answer. Divorce the politics from the science of politics, and tell me what is the science and politics, please, sir.
I wish I could answer that.
You see, that is the problem we have in here. We talk about politics, and politics is a way of life, yeah? But we are not separating, we are not identifying the science and politics. So when somebody says, look, I have a political science in politics, you have to ask, could you tell me what is that science? Because we know what is politics, but tell me what is the science. And that is where we have the problem, except we know what is the science and be able to deal with the science of politics. We cannot get rid of these problems that I'm hearing there, because that is exactly the science of politics. That is what we're using. If we say we're using economics, I will understand it. But once we say the science of politics, that's exactly what we're using. That's exactly what we get in there. So don't find it funny. Don't find it strange. We have to know what is the science. And until we know what is the science, we have to excuse everybody. Because that is what is giving us the problem. So have a great day.
All right, my friend. What I do know that we have something that we can use to make these politicians accountable. And
what's that?
Well, those that we have here in Grenada, at least every 3 to 5 years they go back to the poll. So we have to hold them responsible for the ills that they have been doing to the people. All right? And that is where again, and I come to the fair game.
What is fair game?
The fair game. Now I'm wondering that if the cabinet of this country could agree to sign such a document, understanding implications and what is in it, then I can safely say that all of you who sit in the cabinet there do agree the teaching of man and man marrying and having sex and woman doing the same thing. We can agree that's fair game because you go out there and sign an agreement, right, on behalf of the people of Grenada. So that means you, without their consultation, that means you agree with those things and perhaps you are practicing that too. I'm wondering, it's fair game.
So if the Prime Minister say he don't read it, he don't know. Joseph say nobody go force them. But the thing saying what going on?
How could he not know?
So the ambassador is allowing to himself?
How could he not read?
And they go blame the ambassador.
Of course they go throw him under the bus.
Well, is the ambassador?
Well, the ambassador need to court. Mr. Ambassador come out and tell the people what happened.
Do a Facebook Live or something. Do something. We have some files. We have some files.
Resign, they go throw you under the bus. Because somebody will have to, well, you know what? These guys don't account for nothing. Right? They came with a transformation agenda. Right? Well, here, transformation agenda. Okay?
Yeah.
So
agenda. The word agenda.
Transformation agenda.
Thank you.
So
but Igwe, you have a call?
Yeah, we do.
Let me take it.
Good afternoon.
Everyone.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Mr. Keaton.
Hey.
Igwe.
Yeah.
Now, I have a lot of things to say. I don't want to say it really because a lot of people make the contribution. But we was asking just now that you have to make them responsible for probably the wrongs that they do or things that they say wrong. You have an idea what that could be?
I mean, they by holding them responsible? Well, the first thing is to get them out. That's first of all. Get them out. And if they were doing things against our constitution or against the law of our countries,
the will of the people.
Yes, then you have to hold them accountable for it. And
my plain and simple, put them in the jail.
Well, you have to. We have a democratic society. We have laws.
Listen me. I'm not making a big set of argument. Listen me. The States is the biggest democratic country in the world. You see what is happening? Okay.
What is happening?
Well, with the liars and them doing all wrong things, the politicians doing all wrong things.
But the law protects them.
Right. Okay. I agree.
The law protects them. So we are a civilized society. We have laws that governs. These guys break the law. As a people, we have to take them to task, take them to court, bring them guilty for whatever wrong things that they are doing, and then you can sentence them, either charge them financially or send them to jail. Because every single citizen of this country must abide to the laws of this country. I must not go in jail for stealing or for maiming somebody, and you as a politician who is there inside there making wrong decisions and so for the people in corruption and everything like that, and you must not stand the consequences. Yeah, exactly. Hell no.
Last thing I want to say, you and Mr. Caldi. Listen, how could if you look at the press conference, when the lady from WPT 10 or something like that,
yes,
how you call her? The reporter, asked the question about the same thing there. And he said, okay, the foreign minister will answer this question and then he'll make an input. How you want to tell me? You are the head of cabinet. You are the head of the party. And tell me, you want to tell me that you doesn't know nothing?
Covering tracks.
Let an ambassador go and sign in things and he doesn't know? Waste of time. He knows he would give the instruction to do that. Nobody else.
All right, my friend.
Take care of yourself.
Have a good evening.
Where the AG? Or doesn't see the AG?
Well, no, well, I mean, the AG, she gone silent. You know, and those, yes, we take the call. Good afternoon and welcome.
Yes, sorry, gentlemen. Good evening again.
Yeah, man.
I just want to find out, Master Call and Devon, can you tell me, please, how much money they are giving those guys, or they paid to the ambassador or the prime minister? How much money will they collect for that EU document that they sign?
I think we had to ask the ambassador.
Well, yes, I think we should ask the ambassador what would be the transformation fund to transform Grenada? How much money, how much millions, how much million US is expected, and what it will be used for? Because these things does not even occur just on the surface like that. This kind of document that they are signing does not just go down the drain. Is it we selling Grenada? Are we allowing Grenada to become same-sex? Is it, or how hard it is for us to agree or to disagree on that kind of behavior? We need to know. And I asking you guys for the information. Please let them know. We want to know how much money that they bargained for, that they signed this document for, the equality of man and woman, no problem. Tell us how much money we get in. And if not, apologize again to the people of Grenada for lying to them. Thank you very much.
All right, my friend.
You go to answer, sorry.
Watch.
Yeah, sorry.
We have to remember that billions of dollars are being branded in front of these countries' eyes. Billions of dollars in aid and grants and so. Right? But it brings me back to the question. A living example of what goes on in our countries. Grenada too. Now, there are persons, and sometimes doesn't want to talk about that. There are persons who get favors from all different type of persons. One of them is that is going around in our country is that there are men who have money who are enticing young boys to have sex with them for money. Right? Because they have money, they're banishing that all about the place. That is our government. That is our cabinet at this point in time. Money is being brandished around in front of them, and they are going and sign agreements blindly because the Prime Minister said he has not read the agreement. But all they are thinking about is aid. Economic, how much you can get.
How much we getting for signing that?
Yes.
Yeah,
how much money we can get.
50 million? Why let me take that one?
That is the issue. That I break it down to local parlance.
Yeah, we have to break
because we continue to say all things about our young persons doing all sorts of things for money. This is what our government is doing.
Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Hello? That's smart caller. That one is a smart one there.
Hello? You know, it's good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, ma'am.
The Prime Minister lied. You know about it. He lied.
Yes, he lied.
That's the good for a non-scholar like me. Why don't you to say go and sign a document? He lied. The guy know he's doing the same shit too. That's the reason why they could go and sign for this dirtiness. But let me tell you, those in cabinet, the first said they had to pick up and jail. Those who said they read in the Bible. Philip Telesford, David Andrew, Lacroix, and all the other ministers were supporting this shit. They deny God for money. They're too wicked. All of them so need to be in the jail already. Because money they're behind. So they deny God. They better put on the Bible from now. And the people and them who say they're going in church and listen to them. Worse than them. The members of them have to chase them down from the altar and grab the Bible from the hand. They're too wicked and nasty. God had them in the same shit. That is the reason why they could agree for this kind of a nonsense. God bless. Have a good day.
Thank you, my friend.
Blessed birthday, Bala.
Yes.
Hope you enjoy.
And to all those who are celebrating today, happy birthday
Big
to all of you. A pimper's
you paradise. You something for me?
Just messaging you on it.
That's all she wears now. A pimper's paradise.
What, Devon?
That's all she wears.
Pimper's paradise.
Grenada has become a pimper's paradise for the Europeans. We have signed on to a document, right, so they can use to pimp us. Good afternoon and welcome.
Pimpers paradise.
Hello?
Go now, just pick up your bundle and go now, go now, little band, little finger, little mouth, go. Bye.
All right.
Thank you. I mean, it's funny, you know, when you have persons who can make fun, you know, have a joke of this thing, but it's serious. Grenada is being pimped by these politicians that is sitting in cabinet because they all agree. We can safely say that the Prime Minister and his ministers have agreed to run Grenada down a hole, a rabbit hole, pimping this country for money. You understand? Opening everything we have and say, yes, come in. You know, open up that door, come in, no matter who you are, what you do. This is what our country has become. Grenadians, I'm begging of you to pay attention to the decisions that these politicians are making. We and our generations to come will be the ones that will suffer. Right? A rope is being put around our neck when it comes to these kind of cultural values and so that we do not accept. We are not accustomed to it. It is not right. But yet for all, we have a group of quote-unquote godly politicians, right, who bring us in that. Good afternoon and welcome.
Hello, good night, good evening.
Good evening to you.
Yes, I think the thing has reached to the point where we should have a reincarnation in this country. I think that Allah should sit down there right now that everybody, every home that has young children should be serious with the government to make sure that they get their little boys to be added part of a part in their body, right? And the thing that I really want to say is that they should put in a bamboo womb in the young children, because I don't understand what is this thing is going to be. I don't know how to look at it, because this thing is just same sex is something that the young people will find themselves playing in a pool of mess. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
See? We have a next one time.
Good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon. We calling on all parents, all the ladies, all the mothers. We calling on them to get on the street with a placard. That's all I'm concerned about now. Right now, we have to go on the street. We calling all mothers to come out and be on the street. Have a good evening.
Good evening to you, my friend. Now, how I, as a father, right? I, as a father, could sit by and let the state teach my child that it is fun and it is right or it is good, right, to have sex with another man. No. The question would ask, you ask that child, how would that child reproduce? How would that child bring out offspring that his parents was able to do? That is why he is here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, these are the questions that we are faced with. Right? When you listen to countries, European countries, they are on a depopulation drive. That is one of the things that they are doing. Now, how can we explain to our sons and daughters that they can marry into same-sex person, a man or a woman, but they cannot have children? They cannot bear children.
How the generation go on?
How would they be fruitful?
The bloodline.
I'm trying to put parents in a place where they take this thing very seriously. That will affect generations to come. When these things are being pushed on us, taught in our schools, and so, right? And there is a contradiction with the parents, right? The values of the parents in the home will contradict with that of the state. Where are we going?
My thing is simply this. The press conference was one where it was advertised that the government would, or the Prime Minister and the Minister of Foreign Affairs would inform the nation about any progress made on their trips. Yes. Now, we here had information that Ralph Gonzalez was in the same place in Saudi Arabia with this government, and Ralph said what he received by way of memorandum of understanding, infrastructural projects and so on. So we here at Real FM challenged the government to say what all you get. They started out by saying they visit some hospital. Well, it was basically sightseeing. But they yet to inform the Grenadian public that they receive anything from the trips.
Yep, tangible.
They get money in.
No, they don't get no money. They yet to tell the Grenadian public. I don't give you that kind of credit.
They will boast and say they get it.
They get to go as a tourist.
They want it for themselves.
That's a recall.
Yeah.
Good afternoon and welcome.
Hey, good afternoon, Devon.
Yes, my friend.
Good afternoon, Master Carl and Igwe.
Hey.
You know, this thing about what we just signed, we have to say we, because the country signed it.
Yeah, the country signed.
Yeah,
so, do sign.
So, listen to the people in Grenada here, the moralists, the church. You know, we could look at the situation in Israel and with Gaza, and we could back Israel, and we could say, and I'm not against who back who, but we could back Israel, and we could quote the Bible and say that Israel will be this and this according to the scripture. But we are not using the Bible now to defend against something that's more immoral, where God say a man should not lie with our next man. And that goes for a woman. We are not using the Bible. I'm not hearing the churches, the voice of the moralists and them. I'm not hearing them coming out and say, look, this is wrong. Instead of that, money is being wavered, and a lot of these people who support these things, they are in strategic positions in the country. They are in churches, they are on the pulpit, they are at people, and these people craftily is making their way and bringing along that baggage with them and implementing it on an innocent people. And we're not seeing the people who are supposed to stand up and rebuke this thing. And I'm calling on the churches and the church leaders, especially evangelical churches. Because just as how you guys stand up during the referendum, I want to hear you guys stand up and rebuke this thing and call it for what it is. And the money that is being offered is not a money that is offered forever. It's something like a
stipend.
It's something like, let me say, it's just cast before you in order to get you to join this thing. And as long as you sign and you do certain things with these people feel comfortable with,
then they give you the
funding
money.
goes away.
You're giving your money, Gates. It's consultants from the European Union are getting all that money. And you have no monies for infrastructure development in that agreement. None.
All they make you do is to sell your soul to them.
And those same people that take advantage on us for 400 years.
Yes.
They're the same set of people.
But and something that we is missing, The people who are indulging us in it, these people so long wanted that to happen, and they are now glad that some of them in power, that they could bring it on us.
But the simple question is, with all these billions they're talking about, why you don't pay out with debt?
The country's debt.
No.
Why you don't pay out with debt?
Forever, these countries, and especially corporate imperialism, they will like to keep us in debt forever and ever, amen. Because as long as we're in debt, they have their foot on us. They don't want to pay off with debt. They just want to show things before us and make us do things that is godless, that is against our own way of life, like what they try to do to the night, and they try to do to the Ugandans, and the people stand up against them, and they call them all kind of name, and call them all kind of phobias and all kind of things. But I am sorry that we in Grenada failed. I'm really sorry that we failed. And I am saying to the government, what you did to the Grenadian people, we will never forgive you for that. And we have to educate the youth on the danger of that. Now, a lot of youth see this thing in a naive way because they haven't gotten the seriousness of the education. Because what I am telling you, because they see a lot of these people who playing gay and tomboy and all this kind of thing in some serious position, acting in some kind of way that it them, not knowing that it's something immoral that could rotten our society. So we need to educate the youth so the youth could stand up against this thing and chant. And we need to show them that this thing is immoral, this thing is wrong, this thing is godless, and this is not the way that human beings need to go. It is against the dignity. It's against human dignity. Thank you.
All right, my friend. Wow.
Ego, you have 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, as the programs wind down to, and then I would like to emphasize and encourage, right, for persons to continue reading that document, understanding it, and see where this country is at because of the signing of this document. My view is that our cabinet, led by Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell and all his cabinet ministers, has decided to pimp Grenada out to the European Unions, right? For money. Money is being dangled in front of their face. And we have to face the consequences. Okay. Pimple's paradise.
After 1,000 trips, fetes, gala, much gallivanting, and calls from weedy people to explain why he travels so excessively, the Prime Minister made a miserable attempt last week in a press conference, a real pressure conference. He and his foreign minister, who, by the way, is doing quite a bit of flying himself, designed by the PM to ensure that he does not get a shot of acting Prime Minister. No. Because we on Will FM call them out as to what they get. They try to have a press conference and just mash it up. So all they are the best of it. And all they're making a mess of it. My question is, what you are leaving for the children and the grandchildren?
Mic drop.
Pimpers
Peace.
Paradise.
All right,
all we are.
They tell me candid, they too wicked, far too crooked. That is the frequent comment I hear. Too one-sided, underhanded, can't be trusted. This is the opinion, yes again.